If you return to like 3 years ago, if you talk about startups, people were like, oh, you're crazy. But right now, it seems like everybody is doing startup at this moment.
The hotspot in China is really Beijing. Beijing is where 50% of the Chinese startups are based. And even if a company is started in Chengdu, very quickly they will open a Beijing office. A few reasons for that. Capital. VCs all have, most of them are based in Beijing and they all have offices in Beijing. Talent, the best tech-oriented universities are in Beijing, at Tsinghua, Beida, Beiyou. And also largest internet companies that are potential partners or investors of startups, for example, Baidu, Xiaomi, and so on.
For entrepreneurs, like if I'm a Chinese entrepreneur, but I can choose from San Francisco, Beijing, and I'll definitely choose Beijing. For now, I mean for today, like in the past, in Q1 this year, maybe the rest of the year, because we have a lot more money, cash.
I think if you start it in Beijing, they will explode to whole China very fast.
We have started this company 18 months ago, which is 1.5 years ago. And right now we are growing very fast. We finished 4 rounds of financing in 1 year. And right now we have 1 million sign-up users.
创业公社呢，英文叫 We Startup， 目前在北京服务了1200家企业，有12万平米的场地。
Our growth is quite, remarkable. It's from 2014 to 2015, which is last year, we grew like 8,000%. That's our revenue growth. That's our revenue growth.
And is the government supportive of entrepreneurship?
Really supportive, super supportive.
In the case of China, there are really 2 things. There is naturally born tech ecosystem and the government push tech ecosystem. And I think these 2 don't talk much.
The government related, affiliated organizations, incubators, they provide very good infrastructure for people, even the young graduate, to become an entrepreneur. So we have a lot of entrepreneurs. Maybe more than it should be, but I don't know, I just say, I should not say that.
Government has been supportive by putting in place a support scheme, for example, tax incentives for startups, tax incentive to hire tech people or to have people come over. However, the government was also quite present in relation to censorship, to control about content, about regulation, and so on.
In China, doing business is highly connected to the government environment and how to, as a foreign company, how to get trust from the Chinese government.
So the difference between US and China market on this startup community, that for US market, you can relatively easy to predict what's going to happen next, right? This year, later this year, or next year, because there's a pattern. But in China, it really depends on what the government thinks.
In Beijing, I think you need to, you should consider about the ethics. If you are not from China, then you must know how the system works first. So a lot of things you might think, oh, that's not ethical, but it's normal here. Then you have to adopt it. That's one.
Yeah, that's really something. Yeah, because China market is already huge, firstly. And secondly, China market is so unique that it is very, very different from other markets. From my Uber experience, I would say that if Uber wants to be really localized and fit the Chinese users' behavior, they really need to create another app. So vice versa, for a Chinese app to be liked by foreigners, highly likely they need to create another app.
In China, the belief, there are not quite very special religion belief like Christianity in the United States or in Western countries, but in China, probably the belief is the money.
For entrepreneurs, I think entrepreneurs in China, they need to think more about the startup, they should be thinking more about this, like changing the world. It's not just making a better life. It's totally different, right? In the US market, I think many tech startup, tech engineers, they really believe in it. They really enjoy their creation, right? Their innovation. They enjoy the process, not only the result, but the process. But in China, I think most people enjoy their startup when go public one day.